Right. Welcome to Become a Consultant and Earn from Your Knowledge training by Samuel Ibanda. And this is the trainings that we are doing that are to help you create multiple income streams for yourself as an individual. So why the Become Consultant and Earn from Your Knowledge? This training is derived from the fact that we have different professionals that have spent number of years in employment and have gained a lot of knowledge that come with them being able to work for such organizations. So this training is to help them, instead of only focusing on finding new jobs every day, this is to help them start thinking about of how they can also look out for consultancy work from just their knowledge. And if you have followed me for some good time, I continuously say that you don't need to have a master's or a PhD to become a consultant. You can actually use your knowledge just as it is and experience to become a consultant and serve different companies that will pay you an amount of money, definitely, that can increase your income. So I'll just start give you an insight about my consultancy story. I started my career in a consultancy firm, and I was able to work on different kind of clients, both local and international clients. And for me, that opened my eyes, and it was the first door that it opened for me was to serve those clients. And I want to tell you that from that time, I've been able to serve different clients, small businesses, large companies, multinationals, NGOs, and so on. So from my experience, I'm going to share certain things within this training that I believe that you can also pick a leaf from and be able to use to your personal life. So the first thing that I want you to believe in yourself, just as you've joined through this program, think about yourself as a consultant. And the things that we are going to speak within this training, you need to reflect on them and ask yourself, how can I apply this within my life? Okay. Just as you apply for a job, in the same way also consultancy works, you can be able to apply to organizations and serve them as a consultant. So I'm going to go to our first slide, which we have. So why we're here is basically want to know how to become a consultant and start being paid by individuals and businesses, and also, of course, start out and be recognized and be hired on consultants projects as our key objective. So we'll start with this slide of finding your niche. Now, before you can even think about being a consultant, I'm going to ask you, and I want you to make this reflection. And if you are following this training with, let's say, a notebook, I want you to make this reflection, and it will help you think about how your next journey will actually be in the area of consultancy. So one of the things that I want to ask you is, what is that special skill or experience that you have as a result of the time you have worked? Now, I'll give you an example. Myself, I'm an accountant, and I have the accounting skills. Now, you could be a salesperson and you have the selling skills. You could be an engineer and you have the engineering skills. You could be a chef and you have the cooking skills. You could be, let's say, having worked in the hotel industry and you're a hotelier and you have skills around the hospitality industry. So you have different skills and experience that you have gotten. And from that, you can be able to find a niche to serve. Now, in finding the people to serve within your consultants, now when I say niche, basically I'm trying to say, find your market, find whom you want to serve, because you are a consultant. So if you want to become a consultant, then there should be people that should consult on your work. So who are your potential customers? look around and say, who may need my services? For example, if you're a salesperson and you've worked and you understand the sales game very well, the thing you should ask yourself, are there small businesses or even larger businesses that are struggling when it comes to making sales? And if I'm to provide them ideas, strategies that I have learned along my journey, they can be able to use the same information to be able to change their fate. If I'm an accountant and I know that there are small organizations or large organizations that have, let's say, maybe low internal controls, maybe they are not using an accounting system and they would want to move to that step, maybe they are not compliant with taxes. So that could be my niche. If, let's say, you're an IT person, you have IT knowledge, you could be able to offer IT consultancy, and your IT consultancy could be, let's say, around developing systems for these companies, helping them to, let's say, leverage on online tools, helping them to do anything that you think the IT systems could provide, maybe to move from analog to digital. So whatever it is, you need to think about your knowledge. What is that exactly that you have? Now, we haven't even gone very far. You could be somebody who is good at giving advice. Maybe people come to you and ask you about advice around marriage. It could be they ask you advice around, let's say, branding, whatever it is, whatever you think you really know better than other people, and you think you can basically add more value. Now, becoming a consultant, you could have gained this skill, let's say, from your education. Maybe you have certain kind of education, special education that equips you with a key skill. You could also have worked for some organizations for some good time. Now, when you work with some organizations, there are many things that you learn along the way. You learn how they work, you learn their strategies, you learn whatever it is. Your own mind is opened up and you're not like any other person. So you have gained a special skill on yourself that you can actually deploy by serving other companies that may need a very similar service, okay? So it's all where the consultancy element comes in. So when we are starting out with finding our niche, now you cannot be a consultant of everyone. Now I want just you to think about, I usually use the concept of a doctor. If you are looking for a service of, let's say, maybe a cardiologist or whatever, or maybe gynecologist or whatever it is, definitely you really want to go to a special doctor compared to a general doctor, because general doctors have ideas on certain things, but then specialists are specialists within that given area. So yours is to think about, what key area am I a specialist to? Okay, it's very important. Myself, you'll find me more around finance and accounting, because that is my area that I have studied. This is my area that I've gained experience. It's my area that I'm also passionate about. Of course, in the same way, you within your consultants, you must also have some level of passion to keep you going, okay? Now, understanding that, yours is now to also think about, well, this experience that I have, this special skill that I have, how can I position it? How can I put it in a way that other people can actually pay for it? Okay. Now, I want you to think about who may need my service. For example, like I said, I'm an accountant and I offer accounting services. So I know that businesses that don't afford accountants may need my service. Or businesses that want to better their finance may need my service. Or businesses that may want help on taxes may need my service. The same thing for you who is in sales. Yours could be, say, maybe businesses that want to sell more of their products may need my service. Maybe businesses that may want to sell online may need my service. Okay, so whatever it is, or a business that is launching a new product may need a service of a sales consultant. Now, One of the things that you also need to also look into is, are there other people that are actually doing the same thing that I want to do? Are there other consultants in this field? And that is very important, because that is your competition. Those are the people that you're going to compete with. Okay, if I'm into the accounting industry, I know I have different other people that are running for the same customers, just as I'm running for. Okay, so you need to look at that and see. And then also, once you've looked at your market, you've looked at your competition, yours is also to critically think about, if I'm offering, let's say, sales services, what actual problem is it solving? Because at the end of the day, the client is going to pay you an amount of money because of the solution that you're providing to them, to that problem that they have. So what does your service solve? Okay, because the consultancy is a service. So what problem does it solve? Okay, like we've seen, somebody who has low sales could have that as a problem to them, because low sales, low revenue, low business performance, high likely that they'll fail and they'll get out of the market. Okay, so that is a problem that you want to solve too. And then also, one of the other things that you may need to also look at is how profitable is this area? Because you want to become a consultant in the area of, let's say, accounting, you need to look at how profitable is this area. Maybe you're going into IT consultancy. How profitable is this area? Okay, so it's very, very important. And I already talked about the aspect of professionally and personally satisfied. The consultancy field that you want to go to should have some personal satisfaction, that even when you do it, because in most cases, consultancy is looked at as a retirement venture for many people. After they have worked for long, they find themselves to becoming consultants. Now, this program is to teach you to become a consultant even before you retire. Because at the end of the day, once you start early working on 2 consultancy projects, a little by little, you gain expertise. And also you gain in terms of people get to know you over time. And these consultants could actually be your exit from employment, rather than just serving a single. Now, for example, I'll tell you that myself, I now look at my employer as more of a client. I know that I have that client who pays me this amount of money, but then I have other clients that I serve. So the same service that I'm offering to my employer, who is my main client, is the same service that I can also move and offer to who? Offer to other clients, okay? Other organizations that may not afford to really hire me on a monthly basis, but can hire me for an hour, or can hire me for a special assignment, okay? So it's very important that you try to think about it from that perspective. What is that special thing that I have that I can actually share to the market, to whoever needs it, okay? And also, one of the things that also is birthing more of consultants is, with this whole thing of remote working and this whole thing of many businesses coming up. Now, one of the things that we are really gifted with, especially in our Ugandan market, is everyday businesses are opening up. Now, as businesses open up, businesses cannot handle hiring technical kind of people, okay? And you'll find that somebody is, let's say, CEO, and they're really handling most of the things. But if you have some special skill and experience in one area, you can position yourself as a go-to person in that area. And businesses would be willing to pay you as long as you know what exactly you're solving, okay? Because if I'm struggling with sales and you come to me and say, I can actually increase your sales more than a double, we'll agree on the terms and say, let's give this a try. What exactly are you doing? Could you give me a proposal? What exactly are you going to do? And what exactly are you going to charge me? And how are we going to measure your performance? And you'll be able to break this down, and you give it a try, and you'll be able to execute it. And at the end of the day, I'll be like, I think I can be able to, let's say, continuously, you can be able to come in maybe once in a month to guide us, and we shall pay you this amount of money. And you can earn handsomely. Okay, so I hope that gives you an insight into this whole thing of consultancy. So it's not something that is really really you need to, for some, when you hear somebody is a consultant, it's not really a very big word. Myself, I started the consultancy field when I was just moving out of university, because I joined an organization that was into consultants, and I immediately became an associate consultant within the organization. So I was able to work on many projects because I was in that line. Okay, and that for me opened my eyes and was like, oh, I can actually become a consultant by not even having to have this degree and so on. And over time that I've gained all this kind of experience, it even gave me more confidence that the other time I was working under a company, but right now I can be able to pitch for my own business as a consultant within my field. So it's the same thing for you as well. What is that specific area that you actually have in experience that you think you can offer as, let's say, in terms of consultancy? Okay, so it's very important that you think about that key aspect. Now, before we proceed, now, finding your niche, why I say finding your niche here, in addition to what I have just shared also, is the fact that you need, if you have different things that you know or you understand, you might want to find a specific element of that you want to exactly do. Now, for example, somebody who is good in, let's say, in modeling or forecasting, you might want to find a way of how to position yourself as a specialty in one, let's say, in one of the areas, okay? Or let's say in the area of business intelligence, or in the area of taxes. For example, I'll give you an example. If somebody is doing accounting and taxes, and then there's somebody who is a specialist in accounting, and there's somebody who is a specialist in taxes, you find that people that are benefiting more from consultants are people who have taken niches. If somebody is doing more of only taxes, they will actually be known for taxes. And that is what they will continue developing specialty in that area, learn more about it, develop skill, and at the end of the day, they position themselves in that area. So when we say finding your niche, it also involves having to reduce some of the things that you do to, let's say, just a few items, and you concentrate on those and develop a skill in them. Now, finding your niche could also cascade on to deciding on which people you want to serve, okay? Now, you may say that, for me, I'm going to be doing, let's say, financial modeling for startups. That is my specialty. And people will actually know you for that. Just like I said, how doctors do. Or you could say, I'm going to offer accounting services to, let's say, to small businesses, okay? Maybe small and medium enterprises. And that is what people know you for. So they know that, if I cannot afford the other big consultant, then I can actually go for this person. Yours could say maybe you have specialty in, let's say, administration. Maybe you've worked, let's say, in schools, or you've worked, let's say, in hospitals. So you know how administration of hospitals actually work. So if you know of any, let's say, new school or new hospital, then you can position yourself and maybe write a proposal to them and position yourself, or just create an appointment with, let's say, the CEO, and explain to them why you think you can help them in the scenario they are at. Okay, so it's something that you can easily find and see your area of concentration. Now, you can be multi-skilled and you can have many things that you really know, but at the end of the day, what will set you apart is you choosing and saying, I'm going to concentrate on this. Because once you concentrate on one area, even people will feel confident of, let's say, recommending you for any of the services, because they know that this person is good at this area. Every time you make a decision to concentrate on one thing, there's a way you actually, the world sees you as more of an expert in that area compared to somebody who is running many things. Okay, so you need to see what are some of the areas that you think you may want to concentrate in taking into consideration these key factors that we have looked at, the aspect of market and demand, in terms of the people that you're going to serve, in terms of the competition that is already existing. If a given niche already has some level of competition, you might want to choose to go for another, let's say, another area that has less competition. There are people who are specialized There are people who are into, let's say, maybe engineering consultants, and for them, they are only in buildings of a given type, and that is their area of specialty. A bulb that has stood out from the others. Okay. All right. I hope somebody says my audio is breaking. I hope others can hear me. Can others hear me well? I have some rain here, but I hope others can hear me as well. Maybe can I just confirm with others? Is everything okay for the other people? All right, so I was saying that you need to create your personal brand, okay? And become a thought leader, become a go-to person, somebody whom they will know that if I need this kind of service, I'll actually look out for this person. Now, why this is very important is because you want to look for clients and you want these clients to have some trust in you in terms of what you offer. So there are certain things that you need to do to create an impression in simple sense. You need to create an impression, just like the way you go to buy for fuel from a Shell petrol station. You always ask yourself is, what is that exactly that I need to do for another person to just wake up one day and say, let me just give a call to this guy. This guy will actually provide to me what exactly I need. Now, just want to give you it's just a simple reflection of you being part of this program is because you have seen the brand that I have built. You've been able to trust and actually pay me your money without, let's say, meeting me. But you've been able to, based on whatever you have seen, whatever it is, and you've been able to say, this is the person that I should actually go for to teach me within this area. So you too, you need to create that kind of brand that is trusted by other people, that at the end of the day, they can be able to pay you money even when they have not met you, even when they don't know your father or mother or whatever it is, but they will trust and pay you their money without no hesitation. Of course, with the confidence that you'll actually deliver to the expectation. Now, what does it take to create a personal brand? And I'm going to share this from my experience. Some of the things that I have really done to really become known. Now, when you're creating a personal brand, you get known. Other people get to know you, okay? Now, one of the things that I want to do, I want to drill onto these things that are on my screen here, okay? And some of the things that you may not have to start with them immediately, but there are things that you will actually do along the way, okay? And I have done this and they have really helped me grow my brand, okay? Now, there are many things that you can really do to grow your personal brand. And actually with the online space, with the online internet, it has created a very good ground for us to meet other people for good reasons for the things that we do, okay? Phone. You have to ask yourself, if today I ask, let's say 5 people who are in your phone, would they know exactly what you do, okay? That should be a question that you should really first find out. The people that are in your phone book, do they know what you exactly do? Some of you, we know you, let's say, work in the insurance, you're into, let's say, data modeling, you're into accounting, but that is what you do. But do people know what you exactly do? And do people also know that you can actually offer that kind of service or that kind of help that you think you can actually offer? Now, that is what personal branding does. It breaks the gap between what you offer and what people know about you that you actually offer. Okay? Now, just like the way companies do, of how they position themselves in the market when it comes to what they offer, is the same way that you too should actually do, okay, in this area when you want to become a consultant. Now, one of the things that you have to know is that a consultant is looked at as somebody who is superior over others. Even when you are a consultant in accounting, you're looked at as somebody who is better than other accountants, because for you, a consultant, so it means that you have mastered this thing over and over time, that other people can actually pay you for it. And that is why you see, when you're choosing your niche, don't just choose something that you just think that can work out, but choose something that you think you can actually position yourself and say that I actually can be able to execute on this thing with all the confidence, and you have the evidence. Okay. Now, one of the things that you need to basically do when it comes to your personal brand, I'm going to use, let's say, maybe somebody who is in accounting, okay? And I'll be able to also relate it back to sales and whatever you could be doing, or monitoring and evaluation and so on. Now, you already have that degree, or you already have that certificate, or you have that diploma, or you have that special training, okay? Now, people need to know that you have those trainings. They need to know that you have those kind of skills, okay? Now, I want you to leverage on the platforms that we have. Now, one of the platforms that I want you to leverage on is I'll start with Facebook, because at least I know each of us here who are part of this training really have a Facebook account. So if you have a Facebook account, how many friends do you have? You have, let's say, over 200 friends, just for example. Now, the question will be, do those friends know what exactly you do? And once I visit just your profile, will I know what exactly you do? Okay. Now, that is very important, because there are many people who presume that people know what they do, but you cannot exactly tell what they actually do. Okay. Because they have not positioned themselves in any way for somebody to know that this person actually does this. And you see, there are certain small things that we do that may not make much sense to you, but they make a lot of sense for other people. Okay. Now, when we speak about the consultancy brand, I want to even just first leave the slides, and I want to show you something. The first thing that you should look at when you are looking at your personal brand is, first, what you can do is, the first thing that you can do is first Google yourself. And I want to try out something here so that we can see what I want to exactly mean. Okay, my browser is opening, so I want to get here. Okay, so as we can see, this is Google. So I'm going to put my brand. Okay, my brand is Coach Samuel. Ibanda. So I'm going to Google. So this is what comes when I see Coach Samuel Ibanda. So immediately Google will tell me, Coach Samuel, to give me my Twitter account, which I can click on. It will give me my YouTube account, and even before the YouTube, I can see that Samuel is an award-winning global inspiration speaker, business consultant, a renowned coach, and so on. It will move to the next Facebook to show me that I'm an accountant, I'm a speaker, and I'm a coach. it will move to LinkedIn, the same thing that it will actually show. I'm a finance and business coach, and so on. It will move to, let's say, my website right here, and it will move to other different platforms where you can actually find Coach Samuel. Even when you come to images, let's just click on images and see what exactly do we see by Coach Samuel. Now, one of the things that you need to basically know also as well along this journey is that Samuel is not alone. There are many people who are called Samuel, okay? And there are also many other people who are called, let's say, Samuel Ibanda. But how unique is the brand of Samuel? When somebody hears, let's say, maybe whatever name you have, but let's say if somebody hears Samuel Ibanda, what exactly comes to your mind? Of course, the coach will come to your mind, somebody who is knows these things of finance, somebody who does whatever, maybe is an accountant. There are many things that come to your mind. So that's the same thing that I want you to reflect on as an individual. Now, the reason why I've used Google is that in most cases, when somebody tells you about something, your savior is always Google, okay? Your savior is always Google, and you always want to run to Google. So these are the pictures that you find on Google for Coach Samuel Ibanda, okay? Now, before I even do that, my internet is being a bit slow here. I will try to go back, and I'm going to show you something small. And this is the thing that actually clients do. Before a client can pay you $1,000, or before a client can actually pay you the amount of money, they will actually want to find out. Now, before, of course, before the internet came in so much, people would just call and ask you maybe for referrals, people you have served before. They would do all that kind of analysis. But where that is not possible, for example, today I've come to you and you're good at business modeling or you're good at administration. The first question I want to ask myself, does this person know this thing that they're actually telling me? Okay, so that is what branding does for you, because even somebody here will just come and say, maybe I want to find out maybe consultancy company in Uganda, okay? And it will be able to give them a field of what exactly those consultants are, okay? Now, yours is to ask yourself, what exactly will help you to actually be shown up here within the consultancy company? So you can see there are many things that really come up here within this information. But some of these are basically, of course, companies that are existing within Uganda, like ABC is a consultancy company, Inspire Education Consultants, Starworth Consultants, and so on. So one of the things that clients do is they look for you online. Even when I want, let's say, maybe I want to get tax consultants in Uganda, the same thing that somebody will actually do. They'll also just come here and search for tax consultancy within Uganda, because this Google is the go-to search for everyone. Now, yours is to ask yourself, who knows me? If Google doesn't know you, if I was in a room today and let's say you're 20 that are part of this room, and I say, and by the way, I want to start up a business and I'm looking for somebody who can draw for me a business plan, you're going to think about somebody you either saw post something on Facebook, something either somebody, or you let's say maybe you had used before, or somebody whom you had does this thing over and over time. So at the end of the day, yours is to ask yourself, so if that is the case, what exactly can I do myself to develop this kind of brand? And it's not a one-day thing, by the way. This is a continuous thing that you do every day. You don't just wake up and you have that good brand outside there. Now, one of the things that I want you to, when you're creating your brand, the first thing that you may want to do is first master your craft, master the thing that you want to be a consultant in, okay? Now, when you master it, try to test your services And you can test your services by trying out by serving volunteering basis, okay? For example, how you may want to volunteer is you may look around for some businesses and reach out to them and say, I'm by the way at accounting and taxes, or I'm good at business modeling, or whatever it is. And I want to actually offer you this. If it works, if you think it's important, maybe you pay me. If it is not important, it's okay, you may not pay me. And you create that time with them. Now, when you create that time with them, is that people are able to appreciate that you're actually good at this thing. So people can refer you. You know, branding can also come through referrals. So referrals can be one of the areas that you could look at when it comes to personal branding. Even when you come, before you come to the online kind of personal that I'm also going to talk about, you need to have someone confidently say that good thing about you. Okay, and that's why you see when you visit, let's say my website, my personal website, you get to see certain people that I have served before that are giving good comments about my work. Now, those people build the confidence of any potential client that will actually be able to pay you. Okay, so that is one of the areas that you could be looking at, but also leverage on the online tools. Okay, like Facebook, leverage on those online tools. Now, what you basically do is, and I want to give you this will really work out for you, is, you know, in the consultancy business, which is the modern way of doing things, is that you need to offer value continuously.
We're trying to proceed. My network here is not good because I'm up country, but I was just trying to proceed that for you to build a good in terms of brand, you need to try to offer some of these things for free before others, because one of the reasons why, let's say, you're part of this program is maybe because you've been part of, let's say, a free program that I've offered before, and that alone has created a lot of let's say confidence within the value that I can actually offer. It's you're basically giving a sample, just like the way you see people who are into product business, for them to say the sample is free. And at the end of the day, once you consume the sample, you find yourself that you're actually interested even to buy more. So it's the same thing that also works when it comes to service businesses. You need to develop the confidence of the other person who is to buy before they can actually buy, okay? So that is one of the areas that you can actually look into when you're trying to start out into the consultancy business. Of course, I know what comes to your mind when you speak of consultancy. Sometimes it's something that is a bit bigger, but you know, you don't just wake up and you actually up there. You actually have to build that brand slowly by slowly. And especially the fact that you want to do this first as an independent consultancy, because you don't want to, let's say, you're not going to aspects of, let's say, opening up a company in the first place for the first time, because you want to first see, will this thing actually work out, or does it actually will it actually bring me some amount of money? Okay.
Recording in progress.
All right, so that is just a moment. That is what I was trying to include here for you, that you don't need to really have to start from up there. You can start from a few things and you can develop your brand accordingly, okay? So I hope that is helpful for us even as we proceed. So I want to move to this part of finding consulting work, okay, which is a bit related to what I have just done. Now, some of these things, let's say, are not may not come very early, but you may need to learn them as we proceed. Now, even before here, there are certain things that are included, things like Facebook. Now, one of the other things that I will also comment on are colors, okay? As somebody who is building a brand, you may also want to think about your colors as a business, okay? Or as a person. What are your colors? You know, people can also be associated about you by just your colors. When they see your colors, just like the way you see Shell is yellow or Prudential is red, as a consultant, you also need to find your color theme, okay? It's within your branding, okay? At the end of the day, when you see my slides here with the blue and some black, it's intentional in its own, because those are some of my preferable colors, and you find them in my, let's say, in my slides, in my, let's say, flyers, and so on, okay? And then also things like website. I want to tell you that one of your game changers that will help you in your consultancy industry is actually having a website, okay? Now, when you have a website as an individual, it actually makes the other person think that you're you're at a higher stake. When you tell somebody, you can visit my website to learn more about my work. Now, your website is more like your CV, that you just create your about section, your contact section, your services, and then maybe where somebody can find you on social media, and a few things. So right there, somebody is able to know, oh, okay, I can find. And you know what? What does it cost you to have a website? It's just about, let's say, 500,000 shillings. So 500,000 shillings, you invest in yourself and put yourself outside there. Even when somebody Googles you, they will get your website in the list. And just ask yourself, if somebody has a website, there's a way you respect them, because you know that these guys are authentic and they actually know their things, okay? So it's very important. And for me, the website has worked for me, and it can also work for you, okay? Why I included email here, by you just even moving from, when you have a website, you can have even a personalized email. For example, when I write an email to you and my email is coachsamuel@coachsamuel.com, or maybe samuelibanda.com, there's a way it looks like. Or you could also, one of the things that I would advise you is maybe you could get a company, name and maybe register a company and work under that company. For example, I run Bucks Africa, and Bucks Africa is my umbrella company, my consultancy. I also run Achievers Training Consultants, and that is also my umbrella organization. So somebody also sees you from that. But even before you proceed to that, to the issue of the company, I want you to first work as an independent consultant, okay? And then when you advance, then you get to those stages. But for the website, you don't need to even open up a company to have a website. You can just start. There are people who are out there, their work is to create websites. So they'll create for your website. Emails, that one I've already told you. If you send me an email, and if, for example, you come to maybe a speaking engagement, and maybe it's a conference, and you're able to get, let's say, a business card of one of the business people that you want to contact, and you contact me with an email address of, let's say, Mustafa at, let's say, maybe at mustafaconsultants.com. I'll respect you more than any Gmail email that is being sent to me, okay? So that is one of the things. The other thing that I also talked about, I brought in here is, I call them photo shoots. Now, we know how consultants look, okay? Consultants are people who are much professional, who you'll find in suits, you'll find there's that element of professionalism. Now, why I brought in the photo shoots is also how you look outside there matters a lot, okay? Just like the way you saw when you, let's say, when you try to Google some of my photos, okay? You would see that there's some element of professionalism. Now, with consultants, you're building confidence of the customer. Somebody is going to make a lot of judgment when they just search for your pictures. They're going to make a lot of judgment from them to say, this guy, I think, is unserious, or this guy is serious, okay? So it's very important that you find ways of how to position yourself outside there as somebody who is to be trusted just from the facial look, okay? And that's why you see it doesn't cost you maybe a lot of money to just go and take a photo shoot when you're very smart, when you're putting on like a consultant, and somebody will feel like this person, if I'm to look out for them, this person will actually be able to offer me the right service, okay? So that is very important. It's also part of your personal branding, okay? It's part of your personal branding. And I'll just show you something small here. Like I've just tried to Google here, consultants, tax consultants. And here it brings me photos of people. As you can see, the way these people are dressed up, maybe on this flyer, all people are dressed up here, is not by, let's say, is not by just maybe just want to dress up like that. Everything is intentional. The way you're seeing everyone here looking the way they are looking is intention in its own. So you too, you need to think about, do I have good photos? Okay, do I have good photos that represent my brand? So it's very important that if you're a doctor, somebody wants to see you in that dress for a doctor outside there, even just from the status that you have on your personal profile. Somebody wants to see you as a consultant. And you see these days, WhatsApp gives us, there's WhatsApp business, where you're able to put yourself as a consultant there, okay? One of the things that you also need to think about is, even as I showed you as part of what we had right here, is the aspect of flyers, okay? You need to think about flyers. Make flyers of the services that you offer, maybe with your face as well, okay? At the end of the day, people would be willing to actually will get more confidence when they see some of your flyers. And these flyers, you can even share them on your WhatsApp status. With this, you're trying to create a brand in a way that many people now continue to know more about the things that you do. That every time I think about, let's say, maybe monitoring and evaluation, I know somebody to go to. Or even every time I think about, let's say, as an engineer in a given field, I know somebody to go to. Basically, you're doing more of marketing, okay? So that's very important. So flyers is very important to people who are free with speaking, who have that kind of confidence. You may think of a YouTube channel. Now, what a YouTube channel does is it keeps videos explaining the things that you do with the solutions that it provides to the different people. And because YouTube also helps you when it comes to, let's say somebody to Google you. Some of the YouTube videos can come in, and when somebody listens to your YouTube video and they see you explaining that accounting, they see you explaining more about administration, they see you explaining more about, let's say, modeling and maybe data modeling, forecasting, and so on, then they know that this guy is actually an expert in this area. And for you, what you basically do is whatever you put outside there, you put a contact onto it, okay? That if somebody feels they are interested into any of the things that you have put outside there, then they will actually contact you, okay? So that is very important. And why I've emphasized all these things is that they are simple things, but these are things that make us be hired. And this is the reason why you might have signed up for this program. And you see, as a consultant, you don't not only need to remain only on the aspect of saying that for you, only what you do is you want a company to invite you, let's say maybe offer them that consultant and so on. Expand your portfolio. Today, a company may want to maybe give you a project you work on and so on. That could be one area. Other companies might want you to come and speak about the thing that you do, okay? And that's why you utilize platforms. These days, there are many Rotaract clubs around. Use this to position yourself as somebody who wants to speak. And sometimes you even reach out to those people and say, I actually want to speak to, let's say, to your Rotaract club, or I want to speak to your church, or I want to speak to your women group, or to your investment club. Like find different grounds where people can get to know more about you, okay? So it's very important. And that's why you see me, I've also leveraged on content. I am a person who uses LinkedIn. I write articles, okay? Now that knowledge that you have, should not just remain in the mind. Get it down in terms of being able to write information that people can read and actually realize. Now you see, some people actually need your services, but they actually don't know that they need your service, okay? Because they don't know that you actually offer the service, but they also don't know the importance of the service that you offer. So that is why you need to understand this whole thing and be able to position it to the other individual, okay? And they will be able to buy from you. So continue developing content around and your content could be around, let's say, things that you've studied or problems that you see that you can solve. You just give insights. You don't give it all. And from there, you can add after giving the content, you're able to put, let's say, your contacts, okay? Contacts and maybe email, whatever it is. And somebody will reach out to you and say, by the way, I saw your article about this thing. Can you be able to maybe offer me this kind of service? And then from there, since this person already is interested, then you can start and now speak your price and say, by the way, I charge a fee. And somebody will ask, how much do you charge? Say I charge, let's say, 100,000 per each hour that we meet. And somebody will actually be looking out for you. Recently, I was just hired by the Entrepreneurship Institute of Africa to teach on their program. They have a program that is called Center Because it's a funded program which is helping women in Africa to make sure that they thrive in their businesses and their personal finances as well. So, and I want to tell you that how I joined that program, or how I became a consultant of that program, is somebody just called me and said, Samuel, how are you? I say, they introduced themselves. I said, I'm so and so. We studied together at MOBS, and I've been following you online for some good time. I've watched your videos, I've read your articles, I've done this and I believe that you can add value to this program. We are looking for business coaches, and I think you can be a good addition. And they told me that, they actually told me this program is not paying very well, but they gave me a good amount of money that I don't get when I offer the free service. So, but at the end of the day, for me, that was a plus, because, you know, when consultants, by the way, every project creates more projects for you. Once you do one project, it creates more, because I said those people that you serve today are actually referrals. And it also helps you to perfect your craft, okay? Because you cannot say that you're a consultant in administration when you have never offered a similar service to another person. There's no person who can give you confidence. Because even when you're talking to me and you say, I'm actually an expert in accounting and taxes, and I'll ask you, which companies have you served before? And you'll actually maybe have none. So that's why you need to do some volunteering to develop your profile, to master the skill that you have. And also, a consultant has some level of technical competence. Add some papers, in case, add some certificates. Go and do short courses, by the way, okay? And not only short courses, but also read. You cannot be a consultant in an area without the aspect of reading. You have to read. Now, you get that's why I said you find a niche. Find an area that you read at least maybe about 5 pages a day, okay? Even if it's just 3 pages, at least you read 3 pages. Also watch a video on YouTube. Now, YouTube has very many videos about the areas that you want to do. Just put in the area that you want to do, and it will give you many videos, okay? And also, one of the things that has also helped me in the consultancy field is look out for consultants that are doing exactly the thing that you're doing, okay? And yours is to see what exactly they do, what kind of content do they put outside there, what website do they have, what do they exactly do, and continuously you're able to master that. Now, one of the other things that also, when it comes to you being able to, let's say, find your clients, okay, which is also very key here, is the aspect is create a tribe of your potential customers, okay? Create a tribe of your potential customers. Now, why this is very important and how you can actually do it is, you want to find out on which people might be interested in my service. And I'm going to use an example of, let's say, somebody who is in, let's say, maybe who is in sales, okay? Who is good in sales. And what I'll basically do, I'll go and make sure that I brand my Facebook page, okay? That people, when somebody visits my Facebook page, they get that impression. I'll post content. I'll post like 5 articles, let's say weekly, or I can post, 5 articles, let's say weekly. I'll start with maybe why you need to improve your sales. And then I give reasons. And then I'll give different ways you can improve your sales. I'll give reasons. If you do these things about your sales, they will improve. Then I keep on changing. And then maybe I can even do a video which can explain maybe the 5 things that you need to do to improve sales in your company. And I'll list them. Now, with that, you get people who like your things that you post, are people that are showing you that, oh, this thing is actually important to them. Now, the next thing that you need to do is continuously provide that content. Now, after you do, you now come up with, let's say, a free webinar. And you see now online tools provide us that leverage. You can actually go live on your Facebook page and speak about the things that you offer, and people will be there to watch. I know you've watched many people's things, just like the way you've watched my videos as well. So yours is to go and see. Then the next thing that you do now, do something where people give you their emails and phone numbers, okay? Or what you can do is, what else I can do? I can also maybe do a PDF, write up a document, maybe 2 pages or 3 pages, and say maybe the 5 principles of sales. And that alone, I'm able to say that I've actually written up this thing, and whoever would like maybe to get it, you can give me your email and I'll be able to share it with you. Now, you kind of creating a tribe of people that are interested in your things. And now those are the people that you keep on feeding information And at the end of the day, these are people that can buy from you after, okay? And just the same way for me, it has worked for me, even when it comes to my accounting services, even when it comes to my trainings as an accountant. I keep on creating that tribe of people, and those are my followers. When you get to me, let's say, for example, right now I have over I made 12,000 followers on LinkedIn. But when you look at most of the people that follow me are people who are interested in my work. Now, one of the things that happens with consultancy, and this happens with most of the businesses, is that the people that buy from you are not people who have just heard about you. Okay, today I can hear about you. Now, study you and see. And if I don't see this coming out, if I can look out for all the information that I may need, and that information does not give me the confidence that you're actually good in these areas, then to me, I will not actually hire you. And I will not recommend you. Okay. You see, the people that you position yourself to are people either who are going to hire you directly or are going to recommend you. Because when you come and say, I want somebody who can train me in these accounting things, say, I know this guy is called Samuel, he's good at this thing. So that's the same way that you also need to position yourself in finding clients. So finding clients is not something that is hard. You just need to do what exactly is needed. And you need to, just like the way somebody who is looking for a marriage partner does, if you're a lady or you're a man, there are things that you do. There's an impression that you create. Your customer is your next bride or is your next groom. So what exactly do you think your next groom will really put in their mind when they are considering to either choose you or choose you above others people? Okay, and that's why you show value ahead. Okay, and that's why you see most of these businesses, most of the people that are making a lot of money are people that give out things for free, by the way. And that's consultancy. Even when you visit these consultancy company websites, these guys who have built consultancies to a given area, they give free information like nothing. Now that free information boosts confidence of any person, and it also boosts your popularity as somebody who is much skilled in that area. Okay, and people will be looking out for you. So use speaking events. Be ready to speak. Like a consultant who is good at speaking, that is a plus for you. If you're a consultant and you're good at speaking, it's a plus for you, because you're going to find cases where a client is going to call you to their meeting and they ask you to present what your solution looks like. And you need to learn tools like PowerPoint, how to make a presentation that somebody will feel like they need you to be hired the next day. Okay, and also develop your confidence as an individual, because if you're saying you're a consultant and I invite you to my office, and when I ask you the things that you do, you cannot easily break them down, then much high likely I will not hire you. Okay, reason why? Because there are many other consultants that I can really find. At the end of the day, what I'm looking for is value for my money. Okay, so it's very important. So I've used social media, I've used LinkedIn. LinkedIn has worked for me very much because LinkedIn is more professional and it has more people there that are potential customers for some of your services. Now, the other people that have, one of other platforms that has also, let's say, worked for me is Facebook, okay? Because many people spend most of their time on Facebook. So, and many people are selling themselves on Facebook, okay? So yours is to say, what exactly can I also get from Facebook? Just like other people have been able to benefit from there, okay? And for yours is to position yourself as a consultant, not as like any other person, okay? But as a consultant. I've used other platforms, just like the way, Twitter, okay? When you go to my Twitter account, now this is, I'm viewing my Twitter account as any other person. When you go to my Twitter account, you'll be able to see some level of let's say, professionalism. You'll be able to see me as more of a serious person than a gambler, okay? I'm able to show you some of my websites and so on. You're able to see the things that I basically do. I'm a business consultant. I help other businesses to be able to grow from zero to somewhere, okay? And there are many things that you basically continuously do to position yourself. So there's more that we can speak about this area, but one of the things that I want to give you confidence is that you have a lot that you can actually offer outside there, okay? Things like podcasts. I know podcasts are not very common in our market, but podcasts are also work very well. I'll actually share a link of my podcast so you get to know what a podcast is. A podcast is like more of a radio. It's like an online radio. And you just speak. It's more for people who may have fear of presenting well, they are being seen, okay? And like you sing, you may not be seeing my face. So if you are afraid of speaking and you want to build your confidence in that line, first through that line and maybe later, you may go for that option, okay? That is what podcasts do, okay? Blog posts. Now, blog posts is the postings, the content. You can have a blog, okay? Now, for example, when you visit my website, you'll see a blog, but also the content that I put out on Facebook, on LinkedIn, those are also blog posts. Now, how I use the blog post is I find the point of need of the customer, and I'm able to put it outside there in terms of an article. And the customer is able to read it, and they feel touched, and they feel like reaching out to me. And from there, now I can start my conversation of this thing. I can be able to help you with this. I can offer you this. I can offer you this. I can offer you this. And at the end of the day, the customer will say, how much do you charge? The next thing you say, I charge this amount of money. And the next thing they're like, that is too much. What can't you accept this amount? And that customer is already interested in your product and they'll be willing to pay you, okay? And then the other is the slide decks. Slide decks is just more of, you can call it a proposal, okay? You can call it a proposal. Now, proposals work in one way. You can be able to write a proposal to a business that requests you to submit a proposal. Now, I'm going to show you an example here. I'm going to show you an example of the proposal that you can actually write. Julie. So now, like I said, you can write a proposal to a company about what you think you can offer them, or the company can actually ask for a proposal, okay? So there are many, that is also one of the areas that many consultants actually benefit from, especially when it comes to getting businesses. Instead of waiting for people to look for you, you actually tell them of what you offer in terms of a proposal, okay? And some of them will send you, let's say, what you would call terms of reference. Now, I just want to show you something very small here. So this was one of the consultants projects that I've worked on this year. And somebody says, please, someone will find the terms of reference to help us as requests for your CV. So some of them will ask your CV and will later ask for your what? And will later ask for, let's say, your proposal, okay? So this is the document right here. So I hope you can see the document. So this is request and setup of a robust financial management system. These are their terms of reference. This is the company, as you can see there. Then they tell me about the project details, the background of proposed works, objectives, scope, deliverables, business benefits. Now, this is like a terms of reference, okay? And then they tell you what exactly they are looking for, okay? Right there. So, for example, this project, the objectives were, you were supposed to do 100%. Okay, they hope that the project will help them to do what? To 100% financial reporting by the finance department management starting first month, offset of the system, eliminating record keeping redundancy, creating efficiency in the accounting department, and so on. And then they give you the scope of work, what exactly they expect you to do in terms of the assignment, okay? So this is what it can be. And then they also ask you for the deliverables, what exactly you need to offer as a consultant to them, okay? As you can see, they need a robust financial management system. They need you to train their staff on that thing. They also need you to create a process manual. Now, just like the way it is, this is a financial management kind of maybe terms of reference. It can be for sales, it can be for administration, it can be for modeling, whatever it is, okay? Now, what I'll now proceed to is to offer a proposal to these people, okay? And my proposal would be something like this. I'll just show you, give you an insight onto this. So this would be like my proposal. So it's a proposal for review and set up a robust financial management system for a truly consulting company, okay? So I come there, put my name right there, then I come and put whom I'm writing to, the managing director. This is basically a cover letter that I'm actually providing. I'm going to provide this kind of service. And then the next thing is, let's say, background to assignment. And then I go ahead to also indicate how do I understand the assignment, and then methodology, what am I exactly going to do in terms of my work, okay? And I'll go to, let's say, project time frame, and then I'll now proceed to, let's say, my breakdown of investment. Basically, what am I going to charge? Now, for example, this I'm looking at 10 days of supporting these people, and I'm going to charge 600,000 per day, and that would yield into 6 million shillings. And then I get down to, I give them my consultancy profile, okay, in terms of the work that I do. And then what I'll do down here, I'll put some of my past, let's say, projects and experience, like organizations that I have served in the similar area, okay? So that, as simple as that. So you basically just need to think about on, if it's me who is, let's say, writing, let's say, a proposal, how would that kind of proposal look like, okay, to the other person? And these things, by the way, guys, are not really, they are not things of people who are of a given, let's say, I don't know how to call it. They are things that anyone can actually be able to do, okay? So you need to think about yourself as a consultant going forward, because at the end of the day, these things don't just, you don't just maybe fall from heaven and start doing them. For example, this was a Bank of Uganda, and this was also expression of interest. Now, it can also come, now, for example, the other one came through a referral. It started by a referral. Somebody called somebody, and then they sent me an email, and then requested. They called me, then sent me an email, and then they sent me a document, okay? And then I was able to respond. Expression of interest, okay? And they say, for example, this is a consultancy service for business impact analysis, just like the way I have somebody who wants to do business analysis, okay? And they go down to give you information around around what exactly they are looking out for. They break it down. When is the activity? They basically give you what is the scope, what are the deliverables, just like the same thing that you saw in the other document. But in this case, this was a public document that they actually provided. And then they'll ask you also what a bidder will actually do. Now, this was even going into bidding, because this is a public entity, and they are trying to follow the processes of procurement and so on, okay? Then they will also go back to tell you some of the rules and so what, even evaluation, how will they evaluate your bids. Now they'll come here, qualification criteria, they'll give you all this kind of information. Now this request for maybe expression of interest was more for a company oriented. Now when you grow in the consultancy field, you may want to also open up a company, a consultancy company, okay? And like I said, start small as an independent person, and then grow it into more of a company. The reason why I want you to start small is because you test the grounds before even you register a company, okay? And then once you register a company, you can now start bidding for some of these big contracts, okay? So right there, so they even give you this gives you the template of what exactly to put in. Okay, CV of proposed personnel, like people who are going to work on this project and so on. So that is just to give you an insight of how this can be. Now, those are two cases, but you can also find a company that you think you can help and draft a proposal without having them to ask you to provide the proposal, but it starts from you. You prompt it. It's just like applying. There are people, by the way, who apply for jobs without seeing any advert, and they're hired. So yours could be that direction as well. Okay. So there are many things that you can basically do along the way as well as, but as at the end of the day, when it comes to proposal writing, all that you're looking at, like the things that you saw, what are the timelines, what is the outcome, what is in terms of what relevant information you think may increase the chances of being hired as a consultant, provide a sneak peek of your process, what exactly are you going to do, include a relatable case study. This relatable case study can also be previous work that you have done and you've been able to help. Maybe if you're good at sales, you may say, I helped this company increase their sales from 200 maybe to 500 clients in a month. Okay, so whatever it is, at the end of the day, that will make the other person to feel like you're the go-to person. The other thing that I want to comment about is the pricing for consultancy work. You asked me how much are consultants paid. Now, you saw one of the proposals that I just drafted. I showed you that I was charging at hourly rate. Now, you can charge at hourly rate, you can charge at daily rate, okay? Or you can charge at, let's say, value or return on investment based. Now, value or return on investment based, I'll give you an example like a tax consultant. If today somebody, URA assesses a business, let's say, and gives them a tax fine of, let's say, maybe 20 million, and they hire a tax consultant to help them, let's say, avoid paying that penalty, you could say, for every saving that I save you from paying, you pay me 10%. Calculated by time. A case in example could be like, let's say you just agree on a month and say, I'm going to do A, B, C, D, and this is the time that you're going to, we are going to agree to. This is how much you pay me for that time. Monthly retainer, you may choose to have somebody to pay you an amount of money, let's say on a monthly basis or annual basis. For example, I have many of my clients in the accounting consultancy who pay me a monthly retainer, okay? So, and these amounts may not even really be big, but they make a lot of sense to your personal finance, okay? For example, I have somebody who pays me as little as 100,000. And you know what I basically do? I give them 2 hours a month to just look into their financial statements for the period, advise them, we have a meeting, I'm able to give them a simple report, and they'll deposit my money, okay? So that is what you can do. Daily rate, you may choose to charge at the daily rate as well, okay? Hourly rate, for example, if somebody wants to have a one-on-one with me as a consultant, there's that thing called, I want to pick your brain, like I want to get an idea from you. Then you're able to say, for each 1 hour that we meet, I charge this amount of money, okay? So that to comment on is the aspect of leveraging on online tools, okay? So we have, when you're a consultant, you don't need to physically visit somebody to be a consultant to them. Most of you are joining through this training through online. And like I said, we have never met and we may not know when we shall actually meet, but you've been able to pay an amount of money to get consultants in terms of learning of how you too can be able to start a consultancy company. So you too can think about this area. Use things like Zoom. Zoom has a free version where you can actually be able to hold a meeting over 40 minutes without paying any single amount of money. This, for example, for me, I pay about 60,000 of Zoom every month. But how much am I able to make from Zoom? It's a lot of amount of money, okay? Because I just have that online tool and I use it to serve my customers. Google has things like Google Sheets. I think some of you registered through the Google form. It looks more professional, and somebody who registers through it feels like you're more professional than any other person, okay? There's another thing, there's another tool called Calendly. Calendly helps you to create appointments, okay? I'll be able to share a link with you so that you can be able to see how Calendly works. But there are many things that you can actually use. For example, I'll just show you how my Calendly works that you can leverage on, okay? And be able to create appointments for your clients. Now, any person who feels like they want to hire you as a consultant, maybe for 1 hour, you just give them that Calendly, and it's able to book your time, okay, with them. So there are many tools that you can think about. The other tool that, of course, is social media. I already talked about how you can actually leverage on social media to be able to reach out to your clients. You can use Facebook groups. You can use you can also use your timeline, your Facebook timeline, to be able to leverage on that and be able to get clients, okay? So there are many things that you can really use, especially when it comes to online tools, to benefit, okay? Yeah, so I would love to take some questions from you, and then we can be able to close this, and then follow up with maybe through other kind of platforms where you can be able to get more information along the process, okay? So I would love to, you can unmute from the things that I've talked. You can unmute and ask any questions that you might have when it comes to whatever I have shared with you today. Anyone can go first. You just unmute and ask. So as somebody thinks of asking, I just want to show you this Calendly tool that I was talking about. Now, this is Calendly is an online scheduling tool, okay? And how this works is that any person who would like, let's say, hire me as a consultant is able to, I give them this link and they're able to click on it, and then it takes them here. So here it will ask you, it will give you more information about the program. Now, like for example, this is my program. If you're looking for someone who will inspire, mentor, and coach you to maximize your potential, grow fast in your career, start and you build your business and work your way confident to financial freedom, Coach Samuel is here to work with you on that journey. So it gives you my fee, and then I give you more details of what exactly to do, okay? Now, when you come here, it asks you select the date and time that you prefer. So maybe today is 5th, and maybe I want to have my preferable time is Wednesday. So I'll click on Wednesday. Then Wednesday, it will give me the time that Coach Samuel is actually available. So Wednesday, Coach Samuel is available at 17 o'clock to 20 o'clock. So I can ask maybe for 18. So it will ask me for 18 and to ask me confirm. So when it asks me for confirm, I'll come here, enter my detail, who is me, the client, input my name, as well as, let's say, my email. So let's say I'm putting that, Samuel Ibanda, that, and then I'll ask you here, your WhatsApp contact. Now, all this process is because it's going to give me this information in my email, and I'm able to reach out to you, okay, accordingly. Then it asks me, please share with me what you want to achieve out of this mentorship or coaching session. Maybe I'll just type something dummy here. Then I'll put my my WhatsApp here, 0703803255, like that. Then I'll say schedule event. Okay, it tells me this number is wrong. Let me just 3255.
I typed. So I want you to mentor me in maybe personal finance. Then I'll say schedule event. Now, Coach Samuel will get a communication of somebody who would want to have this coaching session with a preferable time, and you'll actually even create a Zoom link. So it's confirmed you've scheduled with Samuel Ibanda coaching session with that. Then it will tell me the time and whatever it is, and says a calendar invitation has been sent to your email address, and that is all. So it closes. So that is how Calendly works, and I just felt I should share that with you as one of the tools. So there are many tools. We cannot finish them all here, but as a consultant, you need to look out for tools that will help you serve your clients better, remotely and even physically. Okay, like I said, PowerPoint is a tool in its own. You're able to deliver the message more than if I had just spoken. Okay. So that's important. So back to the question, somebody had muted. So just unmute and ask your question.
Thank you so much, Coach. My name is Daisy Cannon. And my question is, as a consultant, is it a must you should venture in one of your passions or where you have experience? Because currently I'm finding it a little difficult. I have trainings in marketing, in sales, but the passions I have are related to human relations because I have a background in psychology. So I've had this passion of wanting to speak to the children and the women, whereby you inspire, mentor them. So I'm finding it like it's like I'm getting conflicting loyalties because I'm doing one thing which is giving me money, but then there's this drive that like I should step out there and do what I really have always wanted to do. So I'm getting really disturbed along the way as I try to figure all this out. So I don't know what advice you can give me, or is it possible to do both at the same time, or you must follow what would really give you peace?
Okay, thank you so much, Daisy. And I'm just going to advise you from my personal experience. Samuel Ibanda is an accountant, and I offer accounting services. But I have passionate for helping employees, people who are employed, and professionals that want to increase their incomes. And I do that through personal literacy trainings. And I'm able to get clients for my technical kind of work as an accountant. And I have those clients. And then I also am able to leverage on my passion to be able to offer support for free, but also create an income from it. So, you know, when it comes to multiple income streams, you're not limited to one area. And that's why you see you can test all the grounds. Like I said, all these things, you don't need to create a legal kind of contract with yourself that if you choose this area, you can't do this area. You can do these things all together. All you need to do is to create a balance, because you want to be known for one area, and you also want to have some clients also for a given area. So you may follow your passion, but also create a brand, create a complementary brand into the other area. For example, when you're talking to people around human relations and so on, even in your introduction, for example, when I'm talking about personal finance and I'm able to teach you all these things, I'm always bringing my aspect of being an accountant. Now, in your mind, it is coming to your mind that in addition to whatever someone is actually doing here, he can actually also help me within my accounting. And that does not change the whole understanding of what you see which angle you see me from. So that is my thinking about all that. You can do that with multiple income streams. You don't have to have one thing. And you see, one of the things also is that once you try out all these things and you actually do them, you get to a point in time that you even something that you felt you didn't have passion for, you actually start getting more passion for it. Okay, at the end of the day.
okay? And then also for something that you have passion for, you also find better ways of how to create an income from it. Because at the end of the day, you're not just offering charity, okay? You're offering something that adds value to another person. So somebody should be able to pay at least something once in a while to help you even serve more better people. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Point taken, noted.
You're welcome. So I would love to hear from other people about consultancy. Anyone going next? Anyone?
Yes,
Mustafa. Yes, Mustafa.
Thank you for the presentation, Samuel.
You're welcome.
It has been
You're breaking. I can't hear you. I don't know if it's my network or your network.
one, especially to accountants. I was especially my side. Am I being heard?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Who wants to venture into accountancy? Now I have a few questions here. One, I would like to know from your experience, which areas have been very key when it comes to accounting consultancy, because we have different areas. We have tax, we have audit, we have bookkeeping. Which one can I actually venture in so that I can reach out to those people, especially the small and medium-sized enterprises?
Okay, thank you so much, Mustafa.
Secondly,
yes,
it's as if you have been rotating around the formal sector. When you talk about things like LinkedIn platforms, the Twitter, and so on, it's as if we are only targeting the formal sector, people that can be able to reach out on these platforms to get to know what you are doing. Isn't there a chance for me to get out to the informal sector? And with your experience, have you had any customers in the informal sector that don't even have a Facebook account, don't have a Twitter account, that they can ever visit to see what you do? How can I enter into the informal sector such that I can also help them? Then the other one would be whether there are some limitations on advertisement in our accountancy profession. You have talked about being able to showcase what you can do, but professionally, don't we have limitations when it comes to showing people what you can do? Because what I know, for audit services, you are not supposed to advertise publicly. What of accountants? Would it be there a conflict of interest in case you advertise publicly? Thank you.
Okay.
But then lastly, maybe, I'd like to know if I don't have the skills of writing an article and putting it on the LinkedIn. I don't have the skill of making a video presentation. How can I do my advertisement in such a case? Thank you.
Okay. So thank you so much, Mustafa, and I'm going to respond to this, and I know this response will also help even other people who may not be in your line. One of the things that I want to say is your first question was around which market to serve, which kind of service can you offer, despite all the breakdown we have, the accountancy, the taxes, and so on. Now, one of the things that I said is that if you choose something that you think works for you, either you have experience in it, either you just love it, or either you think it would come much easier better than, let's say, better than any other person, or you think it has no person is actually doing it, or very few people are doing it, or it is something that you've actually had other people demanding. Okay, that principle works for nearly every consultancy business. I would not say that choose this, because I don't know about your specialty, I don't know about your passion, I don't know about the market that you want to serve. So this all works with you. It all goes back to your business Canva model of trying to think about yourself and say, which people am I exactly going to serve? Okay, it's very important that you find something that works for you. And also what you can also do is look out for other people that you think are actually doing the same kind of work, and see, what do you think they are not doing better that you can actually offer better? Or what have people continuously demanded in the market that you think you can actually provide? And from there, you're able to find a niche that works for you. So you can choose tax, you can choose accounting, you can choose bookkeeping. I have one lady that I follow who is into bookkeeping, and she's been able to build a business that not even some auditing firms are able to build into. Okay, so find one area that you're known about. Because, for example, if you're going into bookkeeping, there are many businesses that actually looking out for people to help them to keep records. Many businesses are struggling when it comes to record keeping. So that could be your niche. And you know, every time you choose a given niche, you even you get to that you don't provide other services. Okay, but you want first front one thing that is what gets to the market. Then the other one, you can build it silently. Okay, so that is one thing that I can comment. So that one, reflect and see what you think best works for your conditions. The other is informal sector and informal sector. Now, when you're in your consultancy business, you also, according to your niche, you may want to say, I'm going to serve small businesses. And like I've emphasized, you can serve small businesses, you can serve larger businesses, but you want to start small, because you know there's a risk that comes to when somebody hires you to execute an assignment and you don't execute it rightly. So start with people that you think you can support, and the risk is very low as you build your expertise, and you also as you build your reputation. And when you want to target people, for example, that are not on social media, or who are not on LinkedIn, or are not in which kind of, what you can basically do is walk into their shops, walk into their offices, and say, I'm so and so, I'm a consultant, I offer this kind of service, and this is what I think of your business. One of the things that you need to know with consultants business, and I need to emphasize it, is that consultancy business is like a patient visiting a doctor. You need to develop a tailored service to that client. Okay, and that's why before you even provide to me client services, I need to know who you are. What is your point of need? Then from there, I can provide a tailored service. So for you, is find out about your customer. You know, this customer is in this area, is struggling with sales, he has several competitors, and you think if when you get to their office and you speak about competition, it is something that will hit them hard, and they'll think about and then ask you, so how are you going to help me? You provide to them a solution and say, I'm going to do A, B, C, D. And you even say, I'm going to volunteer this for 1 month. And if it doesn't work out for you, it's okay for us to end this. But if it works out for you, we can sit down, renegotiate, and you can pay me an amount of money that can. And when you offer value to this person, then they're able to gain more confidence. Okay, so that is one of the things that you can do, especially for the informal sector. Walk into them and also get referrals, develop referrals. But at the end of the day, these walk-in people, when you get there, the first thing they will ask you is, why do you offer such a service? So yours is to explain to yourself, either you have a CV that you can show them, either you have certificates for trainings. Basically, what is going to build credibility in the face of the other person who would like to pay for your services. That is something that is very important that you need to do as an individual. Okay. Yeah. Then the other is, of course, you asked about advertising and what if there are any regulations. Yes, the accounting services have regulations to them, but one thing that is not, no one will actually knock at your door and say, why are you advertising like this? Is offer value. Okay, offer value in terms of tell people what they need to know. Give them just a snapshot of what you have within your consultants. Like I said, if it's tax consultants, bring out the things that other people may not know. Many employees, let's say, are earning a salary, but they don't know about how much tax they are charged on their salary. So come and educate the world. At the end of the day, when you educate the world, you become an expert in that, and people now start reaching out to you. When they reach out to you, yours is now to be able to now tell them that, okay, I'm very busy, but I can be able to offer this at a given fee. And at the end of the day, you develop a profile in that. Somebody will come and you serve them, they'll tell another person, they'll continue getting your service in case it actually adds value to them. So no one will actually come to you. But of course, other things of saying I'm the best accountant in this field, I'm this and this, all those things. So you may need to read more about the guidelines when it comes to advertising in accounting, and they are actually available, publicly available. You can easily find them. And for somebody who is in accounting, you need to be a certified public accountant for you to start doing all those kind of, let's say, auditing services and accounting services. But even when you don't have that qualification, front it from the other perspective of the skill, okay? You're not most of the things that have regulations are the auditing skills, because you need to be a certified public accountant. But when it comes to bookkeeping, record keeping, and so on, do the simplistic things that don't require somebody who is to be certified. Okay, so read more about your industry and see what exactly works for you and may help you along the way. Then other one that you asked me is, if somebody cannot write, like I talked of articles, cannot do videos, what can they exactly do? Now, one of the things that I emphasized about writing videos and so on is, you know, the world has changed very fast. And right now, even as some of you are part of this, you have WhatsApp near you, you have a Facebook near you, you have a LinkedIn near you. Customers, their attention has moved away to now social media. Create a flyer. You don't need to create a video for you to create a flyer. Like I said, get a flyer, summarize what exactly you do. Okay. Start from there. Start from your WhatsApp status. Say, guys, I offer accounting services. In case you know anyone, please call this number. That is your starting point. You don't need to start at a very higher rate. Okay. Start from there. Let people know about you, even your networks, at family events. The reason why I call myself a coach Samuel Ibanda is because I'm a coach. And that's my brand. That's the brand that I want to create. When somebody calls me a coach, they know this guy is a coach. That's what I do. There is a mentor. Okay. So you need to create that kind of brand, and doesn't only work on online tools. Start with, even when you get to events and they say you're introducing yourselves, I'll say, my name is Samuel Ibanda. I'm a speaker, coach, and I'm also an accountant. And that alone is able to put me outside there as somebody. So somebody says, how do you create a personal brand if you're working for a company that is protective of its own brand? Okay, now one of the things that I would say that when it comes to that is that you're not offering similar services as per the company, what the company is offering. Okay, if that is the case, then you need to craft it a different way. And that's why you see, you may want to, let's say, get your clients in a little other ways of showing yourself outside there into the public. Okay, that could be one of the things. But if you're working with a company, if you're not offering a similar service, for example, you're a salesperson, maybe who is selling life insurance within another company, you're not going to offer more life insurance. Okay, what you're going to do, you're offering financial planning, okay, services. And for you, what you do basically, by the way, there are consultants that you not find them saying, I'm selling this, I'm doing this. What they will do is they'll get their people closer, okay, by doing what? By, let's say, through those webinars, through WhatsApp, through so on, through referrals. They're able to serve their clients silently and able to make the amount of money. Okay, so there are different ways that you can also leverage on, offer value, because I don't know if a company will actually come after you if you're telling people about saving, or you're telling people about investments, or you're telling people about financial planning and so on. It is even supplementing on your work. Okay, because clients, when you educate them about some of those things, they're even able to take on even more of your products, and your products are able to increase in terms of sales, and the company is able to benefit. So sometimes when you leverage on your personal brand and you grow it there, and before you know what you're selling, okay, at the end of the day, find ways of how to play without having to conflict with the brand that you're working for. Okay, at the end of the day, just try to understand and see, as long as you're not dealing in the same product as they're dealing, I don't think any company would really be after you. Myself, I work in an NGO, and even my boss, who is a director, knows exactly what I do outside there, and I do it in my free time. I do it on weekends. Even when I make my posts, they are mostly in times of out of my work time. So I don't have any problem. I don't have anything to really explain so much to them, because I'm looking for a living. I need to be able to earn. Okay, so find ways of how to balance. Okay, yeah. So somebody else says, thanks for the presentation. How to manage consultants' work that conflict with working time with your employer, employer. For example, coach that public speaking. Okay, I don't know if I've just answered what you're asking here, but like I said, do your work within your free time, and that's why it's a side business for you. If you're still employed, you can do this work. Even your clients, tell them that when I open my calendar, you saw that my working time for my consultants starts at 5. That is when I'm able to serve my clients. I don't serve them below 5, okay? Unless otherwise, or I'm on leave, or I feel like, now, for example, for me, I may be working from home, so I can serve my client during the day and put in extra time during the night to complete my assignments. My work is not time-based. My work is assignment-based. As long as I'm able to deliver, I'm able to, sometimes where it is beyond my control, I'm able to balance it with my boss, and my boss is okay because I'm delivering. Okay, so that is what you need to do. Find a way, and like I said, start with few people that you serve. Find with a few clients as you grow little by little, but utilize your free time. Any time that is for work, let it be work. Actually, when you're productive like that, when you serve only during that, when you do your consultants during only your free time, your boss will not even have any much issues with you, as long as you're not conflicting with the business they are running. At the end of the day, it's your personal time, it's your experience. You can basically be able to do whatever you'd wish to do. Okay, yeah. Somebody says, any sources where I can get more consultants opportunities besides newspapers? Okay, I already talked of opportunities. One of the things that I said is you can either find, because of course the consultants opportunities that are in newspapers are at a higher level, and you need to really have a strong ground to compete with them. But as somebody who is starting out, start with, let's say, small businesses. These small businesses, you actually see them in your society, in your community. You know their point of need. You know what they are struggling. Either you've heard it from the employee who is working there, either you have, let's say, maybe seen it by yourself. Okay. At the end of the day, also, you have a skill. You can be able to even enter somebody's office and you're able to explain what you offer, or even just do some background information to find out what's their point of need, what exactly would help them, and create a proposal to them, deliver it to them and say, you guys, this is my proposal, this is my business card, create an appointment, say I want to pitch the CEO, front what you're able to offer, and let the other person listen. I want to improve your sales. How are you going to improve my sales? I'm going to train your staff. I'm specialized in this area. I was able to help this company. I work for this brand. You're able to create a profile that creates confidence for the other person to hire you. Okay. Yeah. And then, of course, social media. I talked of social media. Even just through your WhatsApp status, you can get a consultancy client, as long as people know of the work that you do. And like I said, continuously publicize yourself, brand yourself, get a WhatsApp business kind of profile. Just have a WhatsApp business that creates what exactly you do. Even on Facebook, let it show what exactly you do. Okay, I would love you to just check out my Facebook profile, LinkedIn, and so on. You'll be able to see what exactly do. Those that are not on such platforms, that are not good when it comes to doing such publicizing, or people who just don't want to, maybe because of your work, you don't want your employers to really know that you're doing some of these things. Just work it within your inner circles. And also, get referrals, get people to refer you to other people, okay? Create proposals. No one will know about the proposal you sent to a company A. Your relationship is with the person you've sent the proposal or you've had that private meeting with, and for you start serving them. You make for them that project, you maybe report, whatever it is. At the end of the day, you get your money. They pay you through your bank account or through mobile money. No one will even know about it, okay? But like I said, for you, yours is offer value, okay? Offer value in advance. The reason why you're part of this training is because I offer you value in advance, that you've got confidence that I can actually be able to help you in your area. So in the same way, also find a way of how to bring it out to people so that they can continuously know about what you can offer. The market is really bold, okay? Yours is to look out and see what exactly will people need to pay and what can I exactly offer to them, okay? So thank you so much. So that was one of the other questions. I would love also to take any other questions. Somebody can unmute just in case you want yours you want to just speak it out, or any of those that have asked and maybe have answered and then it has prompted another question. You can also ask, please, and then we can be able to close and maybe just have follow-up questions, maybe on the WhatsApp group and so on. So do we have any other question? Yes, Mustafa.
Maybe as you close the session, there's a question I'd asked on the platform about the business canvas model that you had sent us. There are some areas I wanted clarification on, but probably it can come after I've asked what is relevant to this.
Okay, thank you. All right, any other question? So are we ready to become consultants? And what is your takeaway? What do you think you're going to, from what you've had, what is that one thing that you hope to implement or to go out with? What is your next step? Basically, I would love to know, since at least I've been able to provide to you all these explanations. Now the whole thing is action point. What are you going to do? What is your starting point? Can somebody unmute, and maybe either you can use the chat box or unmute? What are you going to do? Daisy, Juliet, Fiona, Mustafa.
Yes, Coach.
Yes, please.
My take home is to start developing content. Okay, currently what I've been doing, I've been trying to post something on Facebook, and I was getting some views about the members, but it's just been one topic which I think I would share out there, and when I post, people react. So I'm in the process of continuously developing contact and getting the reaction back to see, is it viable? Is it for the market? So I'm continuously going to do that, but also I think try on other avenues like Instagram and LinkedIn to see how it goes. Thank you.
You're breaking. I can't hear you now. Oh, I didn't hear the last statement. Could you just repeat it?
Okay, I was saying I'm also going to try with other avenues like LinkedIn and Instagram and see how it goes. And I'm going to also focus on getting close to those personalities that I have been looking onto in line with what I want to do, to read more about them, their content online, and see how it can be helpful in my content development.
Okay, thank you so much. And okay, is there any other person? I would love to hear from either Irene or Patrickson or Fiona or Betty, from what we have had, what are you going to do? Or what are you already doing? Just like the way Daisy has shared with us, at least somebody should come through. Remember, this is not just a listen in, but we want to make sure that we implement and actually start getting outside there. Who is going next? Juliet, is it you? What are you going to do differently, Juliet? If you can share with us. Okay, Irene has come through. Okay, Juliet, Juliet, go next, and then Irene will come.
Or just to say that I'm going to try to be more confident. Sometimes I've been liking that passion, you know, I want to create more passion in my work and go out there and try to use as many tools as possible.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you for sharing. Okay, Irene, you want to share? Irene.
Yeah, yes, Samuel. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you, Irene?
Okay. Me, what I wanted to share with you was that I want to become a tax consultant, but I don't know how to do it. So I wanted you to help me explain how maybe I can go about it. Thank you.
Irene, you joined, maybe just to confirm, you joined this session just a few minutes back. Is that right?
Yeah.
One of the things that I would ask you, I'm going to give you the recording. So you go through what is within the recording, and then from there, we can have more time together where you're able to ask me what you've not gotten from the recording. At least I've been able to mention that because Mustafa is in the same line like what you want to do. So I've been able to use some of the examples there. So it will be helpful to you as well.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. All right, Fiona. Okay, Mustafa, then Fiona. Mustafa, you ready?
Okay, thank you. I think today's take home, basically I've been looking at, when I take you back to the last presentation that you gave us about the sales funnel. I basically look at it in terms of the sales funnel. How do you create awareness to make people know that you exist and you have got value to give to them? How do you interest them? How do you make them interested in what you offer? How will they desire to come up and take up your value? That's the take action. Basically, you have been talking about the sales funnel. When I look at it, you want us to go out and make awareness to people that we exist. First of all, we can create value, let them interested, let them desire and come and request for that service and then get it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mustafa. And Fiona? And then lastly, we shall have Aira.
All right, thank you very much. Good evening.
Good evening.
They're written it in the chat, though I can still amplify.
Please, please.
It's more of profiling myself.
Yeah.
Besides just sending photos on, maybe WhatsApp to the group, what can I do exactly? So that people can know what exactly I do besides the professional bit of it. So it's basically for me to profile myself and then create my brand so that I'm known about something, and also to expand my networks. I know through networks, as you are talking, I'm able to get referrals and then market also myself through that. So that is it basically.
All right, that is good to hear. I know Patrick Sonia had also put something in the chat box, but you can unmute and just share with the team. Patrickson, are you unmuting?
Yes, good evening, Sam.
Good evening.
Yes. What I've started doing, I've been able to position myself on almost all the media avenue, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, and I started small, and I think I've also started small with my workmates. I always engage them into value addition, and I'm passionate about personal finances. So, and most of my friends know me for on one-on-one sessions, and on my WhatsApp status, I always post about something. They can speak about it, even a sentence or a word. So I think what I need to now do from your presentation is try to be persistent and try to scale it up, because I also do farming, and I think I've been able to talk to my fellow farmers on so many aspects, the value addition, how to earn more from what we produce, and looking into farming as a business. So I'm there in more especially in terms of small sessions, but now I have to try to scale it up.
Okay.
That is what I can share. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And for me, that one also brings one of the things that I want to conclude with, the aspect that, you know, in this industry, there are people who love free things, who love our free information that we give there. And there are people who will actually be able to pay an amount. Now, if you're somebody who always gives out free things, sometimes people will continuously think that you only give out free things without, even when you ask for them to pay, you may find it hard for them to do what? For them to actually pay you for that. But what you do is start small, continue creating that value, offer those one-on-one sessions to your friends, get feedback, improve it, and so on. And then what you do is now bring up like a training, bring up like, let's say, maybe a course, even actually buy the consultancy. You can even write a book, by the way. Books are also one of the things that will make you build confidence within yourself, but also in the confidence of the customers. Because if I know that this guy, maybe I wrote more about maybe value addition onto farming, do you know what that in itself creates in the mind of the customer? They know that this guy is actually very valuable. But how much does it cost even to publish a book? Not even much for you to start. Maybe if you publish, let's say, 5 copies, it will not even take you over $1 million shilling. All you have to do is write down, utilize all the tools that are around, be able to put it down. You may not even have to publish it, print it in, let's say, in hard copy, because these days people even take soft copies. Put it out there, structure it, read other books, read how they have structured them. It may not even be 100 pages. Just do something that is of very few pages, but it is of value. It is explaining something, and somebody knows that, oh, this guy is actually valuable. So that is what happens. But if you want people to start paying you, you need to put some things in place. Like, people need to see you as serious. That is why I talked of things like a website that you may need to see, so that somebody says, oh, this guy is even serious to this extent. Even when you're saying them that you actually charge, you have a system, okay? And you have things that, you know, when I offer you something for free, it is for free and it is valuable, okay? okay? And by the way, when you get to some of my programs, when I'm having those free webinars, I'll share information as if it is even a paid version. You'll even end the webinar saying, hey, this guy has given us all this kind of information. But you know what that has done? It has created a brand of me in your mind. You're like, I'm valuable, I'm knowledgeable, I know my area. So by the time I come and say, I'm organizing this, yours is to think and say, if this guy has provided this thing for free like this, then it means that if I'm to pay for this program, it means that he has even much extra that will actually provide to me when I pay for his programs. So that is what happens in consultants as well. When you offer something for free, it replicates. And that's why even consultancy companies do. These days, you find a consultancy company's Facebook page, it has lots of information. They teach you things for free. At the end of the day, when you want to learn more, or you want something that is specialized to you, then they now bring in the figure of how much they charge. So that is all that you can think about. So friends, it's been nice having you part of this session. If you're watching this as a replay, it's also very good to have you part of this session. I hope this has been helpful, but this is not the end of everything. We learn every day, okay? And I want you to go and implement some of the things that you have said here. Please share with me some of the things that you have done. In case you have a program, in case you have something that you're knowledgeable at, please share with me. You can also share maybe your Facebook page or LinkedIn page, and also let's like our own pages. Let's support each other. Let's comment. I can comment. I can supplement. I can post about you at the end of the day. By the way, I would love to post about each of you of the work that you do as part of this program, if you're okay. And maybe that may bring you maybe 1 or 2 clients, whatever it is. Even just me putting you part of my status. By the way, I have over several hundreds of people that view my WhatsApp status on a daily basis. LinkedIn, I have over 12,000 people that follow me. So with that, I'm able to put you outside there and also give you that start. We can even hold a webinar together where we do a flyer and we put you appear on that flyer. We're able to circulate it out. You come, you share the message, and for me, I moderate the session, and people are able to get value. As long as you've prepared your thing very well, it can help you put outside there. You know, with the consultancy business or the coaching business or the speaking business, because all these things are interrelated, by the way. Coaching, consultancy, speaking, all these things are interrelated, and you may choose to do all of them. You may choose to say, I'm going to be just a speaker, but at the end of the day, you want to have multiple income streams, okay? You don't only just want to be someone who's called a consultant. You have that knowledge, share it in a message. You don't need to have, let's say, whatever voice is to really start. Some of us didn't start from where we are. Myself, I'm a very shy person, by the way. From birth, I've been a very shy person, but I came out of that space and created a brand that people can trust on. I can be able to speak confidently, okay? So it's not a one-day thing, and sometimes it will require you to get out of your comfort zone, okay? So thank you so much. Somebody asked about something. I think that was Mustafa. Mustafa asked about, there are some things that I gave in the business model, in the business training that we had on last week. And I think you asked about, Mustafa, was it about early adopters? So early adopters are your customers that buy from you fast, like people who take on your product as fast as possible. Okay, those are your first clients. So and I think you can see this current thing gives you an indication. Those are your target customers or target users. Okay. And then one of the other things that you asked about was key metrics. Metrics is basically, it's a measurement, okay? So how you're going to measure yourself, okay? This, you can see key activities that measure you. Basically, how are you going to measure your success, okay, within this business? So that would be one of the things that you may think about. The other, it was the high level concept, okay? High level concept could be around, I think you can see here, single clear comparing message that states what you are different and why we are worth buying. Okay, this was, okay, this is the high level concept is right here, okay? By high level concept, we are just trying to look at aspects of what is still it's about the uniqueness of your product, okay? But what really makes you stand out at the end of the day, okay? Within, let's say, within your industry. So that would be one of the things that you may think about. But also, if these things should not really complicate your life much, we at least did the simplistic ones, the existing alternatives, the cost structure. We also looked at the channels, the revenue streams, and so on. Okay, so use what works for you. Some of these things work for larger businesses, okay, that may not be really much applicable to you. So use what you think best works for you, and you'll be good to go. Okay, yeah. So thanks so much. I would really want to let you go. Thank you for your patience of being here, being part of this training. Hope that you're going to do this much better. Please, I would love to, at the end of the mentorship, I would love to know about the work that you do, and I would love to work with you on those aspects, like I said, okay? Some of you are doing some good things here that we can even at least partner on some programs, and you're able to do even these things for free. Some of these webinars that I do, sometimes I invite people to speak, okay, through the webinars to my communities. So find something that you think if you have something that you think you can speak about that is about life, business, maybe finance, anything that you think can add value, reach out. There have other platforms where maybe other people that are in my network that I can share with you contacts, reach out to them, and they give you a ground to grow your brand, okay? But start with even the people around you. Start with the people around you and you'll get outside there. So thank you so much, and I wish you all the best. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night. Bye.